NCBA shares, can you imagine this, are trading at 88.50. That's the highest that you've gotten. And can you imagine this? It all started as a joke. Now we are at 88.50 from 65. That's like 23-ish increment. And guess what? It has actually increased by over 7 point something percent in a period of 24 hours. This is turning out to be crazy. And by the way, guys, yesterday when I made that video about the NCBA being absorbed by the Standard Bank, there was somewhere I made a mistake. It was not a Standard Chartered Bank, but it is a Standard Bank, a South African branch. Sometimes when we are making this information, you know, a human is to error. You know, we can make a mistake here and there. That's why I always say on my video, please clarify. Please always clarify. But that does not negate the point that I was making about the NCBA shares appreciating at a very high rate. That is a fact, that's a reality. When I was looking at these shares in less than a week, actually, why am I even saying a week? In days, like talk of 3 days, yeah? Talk of 3 days. The shares was at about talk of 65 shillings-ish there. Right now, as we speak, literally 3 days after that, the shares now are trading at 88.50 per share. That is an increment of 23. Do you know what that means? If you decide to sell these shares right now, say you bought these shares 4 days ago or 5 days ago, and you sell it today, what percentage is this? No, on a very serious note, what percentage is this? Okay, and we can calculate this, by the way, if you'd like us to do that. For example, this was a let's say this was like 100%. Okay, now what is 23%? That is an increase, because the 10% of 65 is like 6.5, the 20% is like 12, 20%, like this is like almost 40%. Almost, it's not 40, yeah, it's not 40, but almost 40% increment in a period of these few days. And guess what? Let me make this point. I meant the NCBA bank was to be absorbed by Stanbic Bank, which co-owns the Stanbic, the NCBA bank is being, or there is sort of like a merger or buyout by the Stanbic Bank. The Stanbic Bank, it's a franchise of a Standard Bank, which is a South African bank, and it is the biggest lender, or in other words, it's the biggest bank in terms of asset in the entire continent of Africa. The Standard Charter and the Standard Charter UK and whatever, all those are different banks. And kindly apologize for that glitch, that mistake that was happening there. But anyway, again, I said that does not negate the point that I was making. It's like correcting the word Josephat in a mathematical equation, just because you misspell the word Josephat. But the mathematical formula, regardless of whomever you place it there, the question remains the same. Okay, now, the point here is, I have to make this point. Now, the shares is trading at 88.5 shilling. That is an increment of 23 in that period. Talk of, let's even give it a benefit of doubt of 1 week. We have an increment of this, and people are still buying these shares. Mark you, I'm making this video on a weekend, and obviously the market is closed. Probably we are having some orders, because you can place the order even if it's on a weekend, but the shares may not go through because the market is obviously closed. And on Monday, it will be your 20th of October, still would be a holiday. We are kind of having a very long holiday, bearing in mind that we have a state funeral. That is from Friday all the way to Monday, to like a whole of a weekend, kind of. Everything has actually kind of stopped. So the market gonna resume on Tuesday. We do not know. If you ask me, probably I'm actually projecting these shares to go to over 100. I can see it. These shares are probably going to over 100 shilling. That means, and again, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. If my projection goes wrong, don't come here and crucify me. I'm projecting these shares might even go up to 100 by next week on Friday. By next week, probably we might experience that. This share is going to at that particular point. But now the point here is, the Standard Bank, the one that is owns 70% of the Stanbic Bank, has not made a comment regarding this as far as the buyout by the Stanbic Bank is concerned. But honestly speaking, why would, the thing is, that speculation was actually enough for the investor to see an opportunity there, and that's why they're throwing in their cash, boom, they're just throwing in cash. Some of you guys, you're just watching me and you, okay, just is making videos. Wow, amazing. I love your videos. That's what you keep on saying. But you're doing nothing. You don't even open a CDS account. You've even been bothered to open the CDS account. You don't even know how it is opened. You've not even taken an action of that. You're just watching. And then, probably God willing, if God gives us the opportunity, I'll come here and say, hey, boom, the NCBA shares has hit 100, just like Guy, I told you guys. And then you'll be like, oh, wow, your projections was right. Wow, amazing. So it seems like you know what you're doing, but you're doing nothing. Come on, don't just stay on the state of being happy and whatever. Take an action. By the way, let us do a very simple mathematics here. Say you would like to buy these shares of NCBA back. If you want to buy these shares right now, let's say you're buying it at 88.5 shillings. Do you know what that means? It's not a must that you buy, for example, if you have less than 100 Kenyan shillings, less, that is way less than $1, you'll buy shares, because nowadays the Nairobi Securities Exchange has made it easier for anyone who is to buy shares. You can even buy one share, and obviously one share is at 88.5. You can even decide, let's say you have 500 somewhere. Sure, I'm pretty sure that money, when you buy shares, it won't make you wonders. Like, it won't make you a lot of money. Probably you may not even feel any change in your life as far as your finances are concerned. You may not see any magic. I mean, for God's sake, it's 500, isn't it? Now, but at least you've gotten yourself somewhere. And for you, when you get there with less money, don't view it as a point of getting in and getting out and making money. No. Just getting in there, keep on accumulating, keep on accumulating. But if you have a good financial muscle, you can go ahead and buy. Let's say, for example, you buy something like 1,000 shares of this, 1,000 share that you need like around 80,000 or something like that. You buy those shares. Again, you may not feel like you have gotten a lot of difference, but honestly speaking, it's far much better than having that money just lying idle in a bank. And probably, let's say you bought that's 1,000 shares. Let's say you bought 1,000 shares at 65. That could have costed you around 65,000. Let's call it 66,000 due to transaction. We can even call it at 68,000 due to transactions, whatever the broker's fee and what have you. Let's say you use 68,000 to purchase 1,000 of NCBA shares at 65. Now, the shares has increased to 23. Now it means it is 23 multiplied by 1,000 shares that you have. In other words, you've made 23,000. Obviously, you do the tax deduction, and what have you. Let's even say you made 21,000 in a period of what? In a period of a week. Actually, it's not even a week, it's less than a week, but it's a week. I mean, where can you tell me, on a very serious note, on a very, 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 very serious note, if you're an investor, if you've been doing different things at different times, tell me on a very serious note, where can you take 68,000, invest it in a period of 1 week and get 21,000? You tell me. You tell me. Probably a business, and that would be a little bit of a high risk, but stocks would have actually gained you. You see, I don't know whether you guys are seeing a gold mine that I'm seeing here. I don't know that I'm the one who is viewing these things in a different way. Because on a very serious note, this is like a gold mine. Let's say, for example, you get in to buy these shares and you get there with an idea of, I'm going to sell my shares when they hit 100. You have an exit plan, an entry plan of 88 and an exit plan at 100. That would be like approximately 12 shillings that you're going to buy there. Let's say you have like obviously, I cannot advise you go break your bank and put all your eggs in one basket, like that buying shares. Let's say probably you have like 500,000 saved somewhere. I'm not telling you go withdraw the cash and go throw it in an NCBA bank. Wait, don't do that. Obviously, that is taking risks. And any time that you're investing, please always contact your financial advisor, because whatever I do here, it's not a financial advice. This is just me educating you on how the money is being made and what have you. Now, the question here is, or the point here is now, see, you go ahead and do what? You buy that and you get that 12 different 12 whatever. Let's say that 100,000 or 200,000 or whichever the money they're gonna throw there will buy you, say, 3,000 shares. 3,000 shares multiplied by that 12. 12 times 3, that is what? 12 times 3. 12 times 3, that is 6. That is 6. By that is 36,000 in a period of, let's say this will take a week or two. I mean, where would you tell me you get 150,000, put it in an investment giving you the 36,000 in a period of 1 week-ish there or something like that? Again, I stand corrected. Whatever I'm projecting that it might hit 100 in a week might actually go south. But if it does, well, amazing. You've actually hit your target. But the point is, you've made yourself some couple of cash. Then you sell your shares, you get back your money, and you exit the market if you're so much interested on the capital gain. Again, NCBA is one of the companies that tend to pay quite of good, dividend per share. So therefore, it happens to be a good and an amazing investment that definitely I would recommend one to take. Now, as we speak, and I'm making this video on 18th of October. I always love to say these dates so that one day when I come here and I tell you, go refer to that video, making this video on 18th of October, and those shares, that is where they are trading. Now you tell me, what are your plans on this regard? And you're seated there, probably do not have an idea on how to invest on shares. You do not even know where should you start, how should you go about it. And this is always my number. You can grab that number, shoot me a text on my WhatsApp, and then I'll be able to take you through step by step on how to invest on stocks. And again, for those guys who are saying, hey, you know what, Joseph, kindly make us a video about buying shares. It's already there on my YouTube channel. Go check out on my older videos. I've explained step by step on how one can be able to invest on stocks, on how to go about it. I simply said you need to have a CDS account. For you to have a CDS account, you need to have a stockbroker. Once you acquire the CDS account, you can go ahead and invest on the shares. And I said back then used to be a little bit hard because, for example, if we go by the older rules, whereby one needed to buy 100 shares as minimum, then those could have costed you quite a huge chunk of cash because, I mean, it will be 88 times 100, 80 times 100, that is close to 10,000. Well, not everyone right now watching this video has a disposable income equivalent to 10,000. To just go grab it and buy shares may not be affordable. But now you may have the 5,000. You can buy the 50 shares. You can buy the 10 shares. You can buy. Just get yourself in. I always tell people this, okay? Sometimes when you gather a lot of information, you want to learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, so that when you get the full information or 100% information, that is only the time you get into the market. Or sometimes get that, 1,000, 2, 10, 5, whatever. Buy those shares, get your foot inside there, then learn as you're already there. That's all I always tell you. I love to use this example. There is no way you can go find a book, no matter how big it is, and learn about poultry farming, or let me use an example that you guys might relate. No matter who or what professors or the books that you're gonna read about the marriages, there are things that you're gonna get and understand about marriages once you get in. Once you get in, there are things that you understand. So get yourself a foot into this, then of course find out and also get together. Obviously, I'm not telling you get there innocently. At least gather substantive information. I always recommend like 75% understanding of anything. Get in. So for me, if I tell you the information I had when I got into the stocks, I had like, I don't think it's even 50%, like 40-ish or 55%. I knew how to place an order, how to open a CDS account, to get a stockbroker, and of course, how to buy. Boom, I got in. Then the rest I learned as the time goes. I'm still learning. And that's why I always recommend you. Please leave a comment on the comment. Do you know, guys, how much I learned from you? Some of you guys are watching me, are economists. You're very smart. Sometimes I read comments and I'll be like, oh my goodness, this guy is informed. This guy, for example, there's a guy who corrected me, told me, hey, it's not Standard Chartered Bank, it's Stanbic. And then he went ahead and explained and I was like, beautiful. I'm being watched by very smart people who knows. That's why I always tell you people, I also learn from you. I also learn from you. And we learn from each other. I'm a believer, just like an iron sharpens another iron. So do we learn from each other? That's what my good Bible tells me. So anyway, guys, let's be keen on these stocks. It's a stock that I'm putting on my, and of course, I don't want to preempt anything, but I was actually reading a newspaper here. This is actually yesterday's newspaper. I have not yet even read it. I just read the timeline and whatever. But we are likely to have the KPC shares listed anytime from now. Once that opportunity is there, boom, I will share with you. This is Good Joseph. Don't forget, if you need my services, that's my number. Shoot me a text or a call. Let's talk business for night and goodbye and see you the next time.